Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the Honda CR-V Hybrid. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Kangar Ford here in American Ford Q-Talk for giving me some time with this CR-V. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out this and the rest of the cars that they have. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering this is a naturally aspirated 2-liter 4-cylinder paired to a hybrid system. With this system, you're able to get about 40 miles per gallon combined between highway and city driving, and then power outputs are 204 horsepower and then 247 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go over the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see distinctive lines there on either side, and then it's kind of just flat in the center. And now popping down below to the lights, I like how the bezel is darker. It gives it a sportier look, and that theme continues onto the grille, which is also blacked out. And then you guys can see down below also blacked out, even around the things that kind of look like rocket boosters on the front end. Putting it all together, I'm actually a big fan of the CR-V's new front end style, but let me know what you think. Now, coming around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 235, 60, 19 in the front and over in the rear. And then you guys can see here with the wheels darker in coloration to kind of match the overall theme. And then you guys can see with the fender flare that is unpainted, but I do like the cut there on the fender. We've got these blacked out mirror caps, and then look at the silver trim around the windows. And then you guys can see that cladding continues on the bottom, by the way. And here is your full side view with the CR-V. Now here's a key fob. We've got our lock and unlock function, remote start, the opening for the hatch, and then the Honda logo there on the back. The cargo space in the back of the CR-V is quite spacious, but one thing that I will say is this on either side kind of gets in the way a little bit. Kind of makes it feel tighter overall, and it drops down on either side too, which is a little bit strange. We do have a 12 volt there in the back, and obviously you can throw it on the seats if you need even more storage. And also this is not power, it's hydraulic, so plop. Anyways, we got the cool CR-V tail lights here, and then you guys can see the sport badge is blacked out, and then CR-V hybrid there on the other side, and then look at the covers over the exhaust. And putting it all together, let me know what you guys think about the looks of the new CR-V. Now, before we move on to the next feature, we need to talk about today's video sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. Now, believe it or not, the modern world is actually a pretty treacherous place. Every single time you go out for a drive, there's a chance that you could get into an accident. You could be walking in front of a business, they could have something on the ground, and you could slip and fall and hurt yourself. And on top of that, you could just be doing your job, right? Like you always do, and something could happen and you could sustain a major injury. This is a topic that's very important to me personally because I drive about 40,000 miles per year for the channel, and so there are a lot of situations that I'm put in on a day-to-day basis where accidents almost happen. Now, knock on wood, nothing's happened for years, but there's always the chance that something could happen. And this is where Morgan & Morgan comes into play. They are America's largest injury law firm with over 100 offices, over 800 lawyers, and over 4,000 case staff that are all ready to help you out. And one of the best parts about working with Morgan & Morgan is that things like the negotiations, the court hearings, and the research associated with putting together a case are all free unless you win. And so if you're involved in some kind of personal accident, whether it be a car accident, a slip and fall accident, or an accident at the workplace, then you might want to get help from Morgan & Morgan. And on a little bit of a side note, don't feel bad about hiring an attorney. Remember that you're suing the insurance company that is worth billions upon billions of dollars. They can more than pay for the compensation that you deserve. So if you are injured in an accident, then you can check out Morgan & Morgan at www.forthepeople.com/Ben Hardy, or you can give them a call at #529, that is pound law. Again, www.forthepeople.com/Ben Hardy or pound law. Now, taking a look at the door panel, you guys can see the trim that goes across. Then we got the padding down below with the stitching. And then here are these seats. The theme continues, but they are cloth, for those of you that are wondering. Now, passenger space here in the CR-V is actually really solid. Got some vent action here in the back, USBs as well. Little storage pocket there. Of course, it also has a cup holder armrest. And then last but not least, headroom's good. And now taking a look at the front door panel, soft touch here at the top, and you got some padding down below, and then look at this trim that goes across. All of our window controls front two are automatic. You got your mirror adjustments, and then there's a quick look at the mirrors themselves. And then here are these seats. Again, look at the design, all down the center. Power adjustments here on the side, and then we got our stability control, and then the steering wheel is manually adjustable. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you guys can see soft touch all around. We do have paddle shifters there on the back. We got stuff like cruise control, adaptive cruise control to be exact, steering assist, volume, voice command controls as well. And then you guys can see the stocks there on the back. Now here is our gauge cluster. We can press the home screen button so that we can kind of scroll through some different menus here with it, as you can see. So that part of it's definitely solid. And then we do have some drive modes we can go through. We have a sport mode, normal mode, econ, and then a snow mode. They keep things simple. In reverse, we do have a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. Resolution's pretty good. Now this is obviously the base infotainment system you can get with the CR-V. So you've got analog controls there on either side. A little bit more simplistic with the functionality, but if you like simple, it's got that. Now the dash is actually soft touch, which is quite impressive. And then of course we got, well, if the camera will pick it up, the mega vent. There we go, kind of, sort of. Climate controls, which have a nice finish on them. We got heated seats here for the front as well. And then down below you guys can see some charging action, storage here in front of the shifter, right? We also have our drive mode select, hill descent control, which, there you go, now it'll show up. Your parking brake, your brake hold, and then you got some cup holder action here, some more storage. And then here's the center console, quite spacious. It's got some nice padding on the top, and then we got the glove box, which, yeah, also pretty good. And then on top we got our control here for the sunroof, and then we've got a darker colored headliner. Talk about visibility before I set off. Here's your visibility over the hood, both the mirrors, here's the rear, and CR-V hybrid away. So I did a little bit of research for with the 24s rather to see the differences, and it looks like the only difference is there's now a Sport L package. So you've got the Sport, which is like the baseline, well, kind of, not exactly, but just hear me out here. So you got the Sport, that's kind of like the baseline, and then you got the L, which is in the middle, and then you've got the Touring, which is like the top. So there's now an in-between package. But outside of that, it doesn't look like they're really changing anything else for the hybrid CR-V for 2024. I'll try to still review the other packages for those of you that are looking for the information, or, you know, just want to see what the vehicle kind of looks like, what it's all about and everything. I will say seats are pretty comfortable, so that's good. Climate controls are strong, which is important because it's randomly hot again today. We went through like a little bit of a cold spell, whatever you want to call it, and now it's warm again, so not going to complain, but just an interesting transition. But yeah, it rides pretty well, so I think that's a plus. Good power right off the bat. Yeah, I do feel like there's a pretty decent shove from the electric side of things just right off the bat, which I do see as a positive. Handling's pretty good too. Yeah, it drives well for, you know, for what it is. Got it in the sport mode now. Feels like it wants to just move. Woo! I wouldn't call it fast by any means, but it moves. 0 to 20 is really strong, and then the 0 to 40 is still pretty strong. Once you get to that 0 to 60 though, that's where things kind of taper off a little bit. But yeah, it's still pretty strong, all things considered. See how the handling is here. Solid. So let's get into setting things up here with the CR-V hybrid. You know, compared to the RAV4, I mean, fuel economy is a little bit less, but power's really good with this. I think this interior feels more luxury than the Toyota. Definitely feels like a more high quality place. I think they both drive pretty similarly, honestly. This might feel a little bit more luxury, but they're pretty close. And, you know, pricing is also pretty similar between the two as well. So let me know what your pick is, but I think it's close. I think, yeah, RAV4 definitely still wins with fuel economy. But, you know, Honda's hybrids now super reliable. They do a really good job with them. It drives well. It's not really anything bad that I can say about their hybrids. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the CR-V hybrid.